What's up?
Nothing. How's it going?
Oh, we're doing good. Doing good. Raspy voice, little tiredness, but we're
Doing a
kicking
little yelling
through.
last night.
I did a lot of yelling last night, so
You were excited.
I was excited. I was very passionate, but
That's all right. Well, I'm very excited. We get to talk to another wrestling promotion and podcaster.
absolutely best of both worlds, right there, bud.
Absolutely. You want to introduce him?
Yes, he has the Heated Shenanigan podcast, and he has the House of Heat Pro Wrestling, Mr. Scott Hulett. What's going on?
Welcome.
Not much. How have you guys been?
Great.
Very good.
How about yourself?
You know what? I honestly can't complain, and if I did, it wouldn't do me any good.
Yeah, you learn that with age, that complaining does not get you very far.
It does not, no.
So, Scott, how long has the Heated Shenanigans podcast been going?
Oh, man. It's 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Collectively, it's been going around 8 years. But
Oh, wow.
in full, like, hardcore pushing it, 3 years.
Right.
We are currently on a little bit of a break just because we'll get into it. I did launch House of Heat Pro Wrestling, and that has taken up quite a bit of my time. But we are aiming for a return for the episodes, so those are coming soon. But we'll get into that.
And so on your podcast, what kind of was the style before you took your hiatus? What do you guys usually do on there?
Oh, we talk pro wrestling. So we've had a lot of good fortune. Been able to speak with Kurt Angle on the podcast, Eric Bischoff, Andy Rose, Vince Russo's been on, Rikishi. There's a long list of talent we've been very fortunate enough to speak with.
Heck yeah. That's a good list right there.
So what made you start the promotion?
Well, that's a good question.
I try to ask those every now and again. They don't always happen.
You picked the right episode to do that in.
Perfect.
So the reasoning behind launching, I used to wrestle. I did it for a few years. I had a health thing pop up that unfortunately I'm never going to be able to wrestle again. However, that did not stop me from wanting to still be involved in the business and to create something in my image, in my brainchild. And I've been fortunate enough. A lot of people have reached out and wanted to be a part of House of Heat Pro Wrestling. We have a staff that I would say is second to none to any other promotion, respectfully. Donnie Tsunami is one of the bookers for us, one of the best minds in professional wrestling, bar none. Dustin Davidson is also on the booking committee, as is Mike Bradley, Chase. We've got a lot of knowledgeable people and people that have been in the business or around the business for 10 plus years. And I think that is so key. Not to say that you can't do it with fewer experience, but it does help to have that wealth of collective 60 years of experience between all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a nice way for saying world.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. So when did House of Heat start? When was like the idea process, like, all right, man, we're starting our own thing?
Well, are you talking like in terms of like the idea to want to do it or the first show?
The idea to want to do it leading to the first show.
I made the decision December of 2023.
Okay.
That I wanted to do this. And I took a lot of time. I did a lot of research. Again, being in the business for a decent amount of time, you make friends, you make acquaintances, you keep numbers. And the one thing that I wanted us to do, the most important thing is I wanted us to be different. There's so many independent wrestling companies in various levels of success. But the one thing that we really pride ourselves on and focus deeply on is our mixed tag team division. Mixed Forces Tag Team Wrestling is the division. And I very much believe we have an incredibly stacked roster for that. Shane Mercer, Ari Alexander, Laney Luck, GPA, David Ali, Heather Monroe. And then that's just the ones that a lot of the people have seen work. in the Lafayette area. So we have more.
Oh yeah, and you
So
guys are. Oh, go ahead.
You're fine. Go ahead.
And y'all are based out of the Lafayette area.
Lafayette,
Okay.
Indiana.
Heck yeah.
So you talked about kind of setting yourself aside, like I'm trying to different because there's a million different promotions. What do you feel like you guys do style wise that like sets it aside or would make people want to come to your shows?
I strongly feel we are the closest representation to the big 3-letter companies on the independent scene. Again, no knock on anybody else. There's a lot of great work out there. Paradigm is a phenomenal group. Black Label Pro is another one. You could say that those two might be 1A and 1B in terms of talent. They both do remarkable jobs. But with us, we have a very deep roster of talented men and women on the roster. And to be honest, if you looked at our roster, there's a lot of these men and women that in the next year, maybe 2-3 years, it's very possible that they're wrestling for TNA, WWE, AEW on a regular basis.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
you're kind of developing like a breeding ground for those kind, if you will.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we definitely do our due diligence when it comes to bringing anybody in. We do have standards, what we're looking for in terms of bringing people in. And you've got to have a little bit of something for everybody too. Not everybody wants to watch chain wrestling in every single match. You have to mix it up. You have to give them a variety, if you will.
Absolutely. Well, and that storytelling aspect becomes such a big thing. Do you feel like you guys have like a pretty consistent crew of people where you can tell those stories, or is that something where you kind of were doing it show by show?
Well, I mean, we're very much new. And again, this is show 4 coming up November 30th. And we've got some good stories that we've been telling, some that we've just started. Independent wrestling is very hard to consistently book because a lot of opportunities are available for these men and women. Mm-hmm. And it is hard to get everybody to show up to the same show after show. Yeah. And we had a situation come up with a talent. I'm not going to say names or anything because I don't want to spoil any opportunities coming up for this person. But there is a conflicting date. And I told them, I said, look, the opportunity that you have on that date with somebody else is bigger than what I'm currently able to give you. So I want you to take that opportunity and the door will be open when you're able to come back.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I want the men and women that come here. This is the building blocks to provide a successful launch point, hopefully into other places. And again, I'm one of the most competitive people you're going to meet. And I'm not investing all this time, this money, this effort to be second best to anybody. I'm coming here to not be just another indie company. I am here to be the indie company.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
So how do you feel like? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, man. We just completely keep stepping on each other today.
Well, it's been a long 24 hours. But anyway, I like that you give the opportunity when there's that bigger opportunity. You're like, hey, man, take this, try it. And the door's open. I like that. So anyway, proceed.
So how do you feel like you set people up for success? Like getting people to come to your company, how do you feel like you're able to do things differently to set them up to propel them to those 3-letter companies?
The exposure is a big thing. And we're still very new. And there's a long way to go, a lot of hard work that still needs to be done to reach the point that we want to get to. But what we're able to offer now is a safe locker room, a very passionate and growing fan base. And it's surprising how fast the fan base is growing for this. It just days I stop and like, wow, man, like I didn't think we would be this far this early. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is we do have commentators for our shows. A lot of other places do. We have a very unique pairing. Joe Dombrowski and Nick Manawa. Nick's been heard on GCW. Joe has been heard damn near everywhere. AAA, MLW, all over the world.
Oh, wow.
And they're able to provide a unique style and help deliver to the people that are watching on YouTube or wherever they're taking the show, that if they're not in attendance, they're there to paint the picture. And they're there to add another layer of importance to what's happening in the ring. And those two do a phenomenal job. And I honestly could not think of a better combination to call the show.
That's awesome. So at this level, isn't that kind of the goal too, is essentially these guys are looking to put on the best performance, the ones looking to take it to that next level and trying to propel to those bigger companies. That's kind of the gist of this, is them getting this good film, putting on these good matches, having good commentary, having a good look, the place they're wrestling, having a good look. I assume that all kind of weighs into their decisions to go to these, because isn't that where they're basically sending their tape kind of thing? We're very new to this, so
yeah.
I would imagine. I mean, if they go out there, and a lot of these men and women that we have, they do phenomenal work in the ring, and I'm hopeful. Like they're having their best matches with us, and they're all able to send these off to those big 3-letter companies, and they're getting a look at us. I don't know. I'll probably never know what they're sending to people for recommendation, but yeah. I am the roster that we have now. I'm so proud of all of these men and women that go out there and they give it their all. They don't phone it in. They work hard. They entertain, and they're safe about it. And I got inboxes across all the social media for people wanting to be a part of House of Heat, and it's unfortunate because you only have so many spots on a show. You can't have everybody. You can't do a battle royal every show.
Yeah. Well, you could. It might be slightly exhausting.
Yeah, a little bit.
It will exhaust the wallet before it does the participants.
Yeah,
that's very true.
You got to do it the right way. You could make it budget friendly. Might not be the best battle royal you've ever seen, but you can get it done.
Yeah.
Like the Joe Schmo battle royal.
Because I always feel like when we're doing that, when we're commentating, when we're ring announcing, whatever, that's the way I look at it. Is I try to give it my best effort, because I hope they like the way we sound and they use that tape and they send it off, because I feel like it gets us exposure, it gets the promoter exposure. So why not go at it a million miles an hour at full speed like you're in the WWE and see what happens? Like all you can do is keep learning every time. So I always like to ask those questions to just see kind of the gist of how that world works, because like I said, we're just very new to it. So
yeah,
it's stressful. I'll tell you that. It is stressful. There is nothing like being at a show and somebody can't make the show for whatever reason. Look, life happens. Sometimes somebody can't make a show. But the biggest thing is to be flexible and think on your feet. And fortunately, in independent wrestling, people travel with friends and they're there for these exact opportunities. And we've been able to have a lot of people show up that have been brought in for carloads and just looking for the opportunity. And I enjoy those moments, being able to do that for younger talent or somebody just getting out of training, bring them in. And there's a lot of vets in the locker room. Alex Colon is another one that we have that is a tremendous vet in the locker room. Gary J is a part of our locker room. Eric Dillinger, Josh Crane, Sage Phillips, just people that have, and we've had Dale Patricks, but Dale's off doing tremendous work out in Japan, and Brett Havoc and our champion. And there's so many people to draw knowledge from and to get the right way of the business. And I feel that's more important than anything. Is if you don't have a good locker room, if you don't have a locker room that's willing to learn and willing to advance the company, then you've got some problems, because that's really where it all starts, is in the back.
Well, it's just like everything else. If you're having fun, it makes everything better. So if these guys all get along, it's just like building a locker room in sports. You want everyone to get along and be having fun, because then they go out there and put on this badass show every time.
Well, it's like having that common goal. You know, we're one team, we're one unit. We're going to go out, we're going to make the company look good. The fans are going to have a great show, and it's a win-win for everybody.
And there have been people and they come up to me and they congratulate me at the show, but to be honest, I'm not doing anything. I'm not the one getting in the ring. I'm not the one doing the ref work, the sound, the commentary. I am simply writing names on a piece of paper, hanging it up in the locker room, and letting them do their thing.
Yeah, but that goes a long way. That
Yeah.
structure and like bringing all of the right people in the right place, because I mean, anyone can go write a bunch of names on paper and go say, okay, go do this. But I feel like if you have even a little bit of guidance or like the brain for this business, you can make some really cool magic happen out of that little piece of paper you put back there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, like they're the ones going in the ring, and
Oh, yeah.
I can't thank them enough for all of their hard work. I can't. And
They are incredible at what they do. It's we've been in this for what, not even a year yet, and
Yeah.
watching these guys perform each time and how they can put these things together, what they do, it's fascinating and it's amazing to watch.
well, I mean, I'll tell you what part of India are you guys in? Indiana?
Yeah, we're in Brazil.
Brazil,
Brazil?
over by Terre Haute.
You might know a guy named Mr. H. Kyle Hall.
I've heard of Kyle.
Yeah.
I might use his ring every show. That might be how I know him.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, though,
hang up a time or two.
if you guys are free with this much notice, November 30th, if you guys would like to come down and cover the show, do some live stream, I'll give you guys a table.
That would be
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
What is your next show?
Electricity. Do what?
What is your next show?
It is Saturday, November 30th in Lafayette, Indiana.
All right.
Holiday Hangover.
I think I have that.
Yes, you do. There it is. This man is prepared.
Yes.
And
We try to.
I believe if I'm not mistaken, tickets are available currently.
They are. Tickets front row are $20. General admission and second, third row, fourth row seating, $15 a piece. Really, it's not a bad seat. And we will have food there. We have Big League Sports. They have their tacos that they're going to be bringing. Healthies will be there. And that's the other thing. I definitely, again, a huge shout out to all the sponsors that help with this, because, again, the community involved and really coming together to help put this thing on is a lot of that falls on them too. Their hard work, their promotion, again, like Healthy's, Hampton Inn, Infinity Toy Stores, Executive Cuts, Evil Genius Tattoo Club, all of those guys, Tier 1 Games, just tremendous businesses that have gone above and beyond, and they're always there for us. And that goes a long way. And I can't thank them enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. You guys have been able to hold on to that many sponsors. That's the hard part, is getting people to kind of back you, getting that community support. And once you get it, you don't want to let those go.
No, you don't. You definitely want to maintain as much as you can and grow. And it's hard to get sponsors, because let's be realistic here. You can go in, it doesn't matter how noble the cause is. It is the end of the day, what can you do for me?
Mm-hmm.
It's a business. It's still a business.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And
Good analogy for all of life. pretty much the same way everywhere.
but you gotta do that stuff to keep sponsors happy, and it sounds like you're doing that. So kudos.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Like, again, they love wrestling. Like, they're passionate. Like, they show up. When the matches are going on, if they don't have anybody in line, the ones that are selling anything, man, they are into it. They're out there cheering and booing and having a good time. And that is the most rewarding thing, is to see people invested into what's going on, because you don't want people sitting there, hands in their pocket, their phones out, like, did I feed the dog before we left? Like, you don't want that.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
That's why I always talk about the storytelling aspect, and that's why, like, we do things like this with the wrestlers to try to promote the storylines or push different things that we're doing or they're doing, because it's usually that guy A versus guy B scenario, and you get people that are like, okay, cool, this is awesome, it's good wrestling, whatever. But if you can get them to invest in that story, even if it's the week of, and you're having people come on to, talk a little shit back and forth on this, then that's where, like, we try to utilize this platform to push that, to just get that community interest where they become even slightly invested in it a little bit more, where they're like, okay, now I want to see what's going on, now I want to see what's happening, to where normally it's just, okay, here's guy A versus guy B, enjoy the match.
I'll give you a perfect example of something that we did. It was at our very first show, Every Child Wins, which is our big benefit show for muscular dystrophy and type 1 diabetes. It was a loser gets a tattoo match between Ari Alexander and Missa Kate.
Okay.
Two individuals that I love dearly. Ari got the W, and Missa on her forearm got loser tattooed. And I'm not talking like in little, like they blew that sucker up all down her forearm.
Oh my.
Wow. Did she get it done in the ring?
She got it done at the side. Our sponsor, Evil Genius Tattoo Club. Again, might be a little biased, but I don't care. They're the best tattoo place in town, and they inked her up. And Missa went and paid to get it removed because she didn't want to keep it.
Well,
that's pretty. Like, I'm surprised they didn't use like some sort of like gimmick tattoo gun. Like, kudos to her for actually full-fledged going into it, and getting the tattoo. That's like very impressive.
You go for it all, bud.
No kid, that's very impressive commitment. Bravo.
Yeah, that's.
She looked at it and she's like, "Yeah, I'm paying to get this removed."
And kudos to them for like, we're gonna do this tattoo match, and it's like legit because it took me 18 years to cash in on a bet like that. And some guy above me got to tattoo me. So awful.
I did my best.
Well, originally I thought the way they were doing, I thought Ari was going to do it. And I was like, well, Ari's got a bunch of tattoos. So, I mean, she may not be the worst person, but I'd still want a trained professional.
Yeah. Yeah, you just wing it and hope for the best. I think that'd have been better if she got to tattoo her. That would have been such a different idea for a match, too. Like, that nobody does things like that. That's a cool
the next time you do that match, the winner tats the loser.
Advance it a step.
Yeah. Oh, it has to just get bigger and bigger every time.
So then you can have a fan tattoo the loser at the third match.
It seems dangerous. There's like
some waivers signed in that one.
Yeah. a lot of insurance issues there, I think.
Well, it's where you find a trusty person.
Yeah, like me. I give great tattoos.
Don't let him draw smiley faces.
Bad idea.
Look, I can't draw stick people. You don't want me to.
I couldn't draw a smiley face either, but I did my best.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have to see it.
Well, thank you so much for giving us so much time. I appreciate it. You want to promote your show one more time while we got you?
Oh, yeah. Holiday Hangovers coming to you live Saturday, November 30th, Lafayette, Indiana, at the North End Community Center. Doors open at 1. Bell time is at 2 p.m. And, guys, we have not released any matches yet for this show. But I can promise you we are working on some contracts. The one match that I take that back. I can let you know, because it was made official at the last show, is the Gary J Open Challenge. Gary J has laid out an invitation to anybody in the House of Heat locker room or within independent wrestling. And if you learned anything from the last show, you don't know who's showing up at House of Heat because they're not always advertised. Highlight Reel showed up. Gary J showed up. Alex Colon randomly showed up. You just don't know.
Ooh, that's
why you need to go check these matches out. Check out this show in Lafayette.
And hopefully we can make that happen. I would absolutely love to come down there and check out or up there. I have no idea. I don't even know how to say that word.
I think it's diagonally.
I think it's
diagonally. Come diagonally to you and come watch the show.
Yeah, northwest-ish.
Yeah, somewhere around there. You get it.
Yeah. But thank you again, Scott. Yeah. This time we want to thank our sponsors for letting us do cool stuff like this. Wabash Valley Plumbing. Are you going to throw the graphic or you make me finger it?
I was going to. I thought you were going to let him go first, but hold on. Yeah, we'll throw that up there.
All right. Thank you to our gold sponsors. We got Wabash Valley Plumbing. They lay pipe. That's our slogan. It's not theirs. Pappy's Barbecue. Meet, eat, repeat. Peak Performance Gym. No peak, no results. Stitch Brands. They embroider stuff. RJ's Formal Wear. They have sweet suits. The Wabash Valley Adult and Teen Challenge, meeting you at the crossroads of addiction. U.S. Lawns Terre Haute. They mow grass.
I had
Thank
to
you
move
both
the
so much.
banner because I felt like you were struggling to read your slogans that you always say anyway. So I moved the banner that way you could read them.
Oh, I didn't see that anyway.
I couldn't figure out if that was the problem or not. So, but no, I was not prepared. I thought we were gonna let him go, and then we were doing that. So
Sorry, I got excited.
Correct. That's okay. Well,
So,
thank you again for joining us. We appreciate
Thank
it,
you, sir.
and we look forward to seeing you November 30th.
Absolutely, guys. And again, anytime you want to do this again, I'll also be happy once we get rolling again. You have you come on ours and talk to the
Absolutely.
guys.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
sounds amazing.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank
Hey,
you.
you guys
Enjoy your
are
night.
All right,
Absolutely.
take care. Take care. That was awesome.
That was great. Now we have another show we get to go watch.
I know. I'm excited. Like, if you've not been, I'm going to plug it again. If you've not been to House of Heat Pro Wrestling in Lafayette, go check it out. November 30th. Bell time. Oh, yeah, it's right there. This mirrored camera is not working out in my favor. But go check them out. It's a lot of fun. And I'm sure the matches are on YouTube. I should have asked him that. I didn't think about that. But I think they're on
Yeah,
YouTube.
I'll watch that guy putting the ring together, though.
Yeah, you gotta watch that Mr. H. He's a little rascal, but
Rascal little fella. But
I don't know. So, all righty, I gotta go eat some chili.
sounds good to me.
Home.
Well, have fun.
Chili. All right, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.